This is BBC World News. I'm Geetha Gurumurthy with the latest headlines. The latest major assessment on climate change warns that humans are experiencing its effects. The UN report says there's a growing risk of floods, food shortages and a threat to human health. A former Israeli Prime Minister has been convicted of bribery. Ehud Olmert has been sentenced over his ties to a real estate deal while in his previous post as Jerusalem mayor. Now, the Prime Minister of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, says his AK party has won the country's municipal elections, taking just under half the votes. In his victory speech, the Prime Minister said his rivals would pay a price for challenging his authority, which he's managed to maintain despite corruption allegations. This is the first vote since anti-government protests last year and is seen as a key test ahead of presidential elections in August and parliamentary elections next year. Well, with me is Serif Isler from the BBC's Turkish service. Just first of all, what are the results? Are they a surprise?
Well, first we need to mention that the two cities where the AKP and the Republican People's Party were going head-to-head were Istanbul and Ankara. And in Ankara, the margin of victory for the AKP is so slim that they will be waiting on an official result from the High Election Council, and it could be taken to an appeal. The elections, they took place almost like a general election, so the results are, one needs to interpret as the AKP being able to hold its electorate together. And as you said, it was the first set of elections since the corruption allegations and the Gezi protests of last year. So what these elections and what these results have shown is that the AKP electorate was not that concerned about the corruption allegations or the protests.
And we've had all the fuss about the Twitter closed down, endless allegations day after day in the press.
Yes.
Why has that not dented his popularity? I mean, has it? Was it just that he was so far ahead that he's managed to hold enough support here? Or?
Well, at the general election several years ago, his electorate, I mean, it was about 49.5% of the vote that he received. So this time round, he received about 45%. So it is a bit of a drop. It's a small drop, but it is also such a number that it's raised the question once again of whether he will run for the presidency of this year. So, as I said, it just seems that this electorate, the AKP electorate, is not very concerned about the Twitter ban.
And why is that? I mean, well, in the West, a lot of coverage. In Turkey, within his base, not.
Well, his base is not so much a base that would normally be using Twitter anyhow. It's not a base that would be so concerned about whether they can use Twitter.
But the corruption and so on. I mean, they are concerned about economic delivery and so on, I presume.
Yes, they are concerned about the economy and the state of the economy. However, when one looks at it, the corruption allegations, they were played by the ruling party as just that, allegations that were being made by especially the Gülenist movement. They were accusing. So they were showing this as a bit of an interference from foreign forces. And now Turkey, for so long, that has been such a saying that his electorate probably did...
reacted.
Well, yes. Reacted in this way.
Yeah, OK. Serif Isler, thanks very much.